Hey everybody, and welcome back to Lindsey's Little Library. So today is BookList Thursday. BookList Thursday is something I do with Sarah over at Sarah's Nightstand. We come to you every Thursday with some sort of book thoughts, ideas, recommendations, something bookish related. So this week, in honor of Sarah making quite the journey from Florida to Rhode Island, that's quite the road trip, and I commend her for that. I don't know if I could do it. I mean, I could if I needed to, but it's quite the road trip. We thought we would do a fun little theme with our BookList Thursday this week and talk about books that involve moving or involve some sort of travel. So when I was first thinking about this concept, the first book that came to mind, honestly, was Amy and Roger's Epic Detour by Morgan Matson. So this follows Amy, whose mom, I think it's a new job, but basically they need to relocate from California to the East Coast. And Amy stays behind for a little bit to finish up, I want to say it's her senior year in high school or something like that. So she stays behind to finish up school while her mom goes on ahead. And her mom has arranged for Amy to basically ride across country with Roger, who is a friend of the family. Like, she doesn't really know him, but I believe they're in the same grade at school or something like that, or he might be a year older or something like that. But they're gonna ride across country so that Amy can then meet up with her mom. And they go on quite the journey. It's super fun. So it's very light YA summer read of, you know, they have this very mapped out way they're gonna get there, and they kind of go off and do their own little adventure, and it's super fun. Just the way it's written is very unique, and highly recommend it. But then as I was thinking of trying to think of some other books like that, I kind of got away from this like easy summer read, and I kind of got more into like a journey, or more into the travel part of it or the adventure part of it. And I started to kind of come up with little different books involved with that. So first one I grabbed when I thought about a journey or travel is Refugee by Alan Gratz. So this follows three kids. So we have Joseph in the 1930s, Isabel in the 1990s, and Mahmoud in 2015. So we have a Jewish perspective, a Cuban perspective, and a Syrian perspective of them having to leave their homes as refugees and travel. So very interesting and eye-opening, and I loved it, and my daughter read it and loved it, but there's definitely travel involved. Again, not what I was thinking as like a fun summer road trip, but definitely travel involved. The next one, kind of going along that line a little bit, is Rudy Petty's Salt to the Sea. This follows a cast of characters in the winter of the 1945. There's 4 teenagers who are, again, traveling through the country basically to get themselves to the Wilhelm Gustave, which is a ship that is promising them freedom from the war that's going on. So again, another travel. They're traveling to this place, not as happy as I was originally thinking this topic was, but fantastic book. Both of these are fantastic books. They're both YA. They both follow kids kind of experiencing wartime and having to leave their homes and travel and save themselves. So these came to mind when I was thinking about this topic. Then I kind of got into the fantasy kick when I was thinking about this topic as well, because these have travel involved too. So we have Nevermore, which is The Trials of Morgan Crow by Jessica Townsend. This would really be a great summer read. This is middle grade, and this follows our main character, Morgan Crow, as she travels to Nevermore to kind of escape death, pretty much. But lots of traveling to a very unique universe that she didn't even know existed, and it has Harry Potter vibes in the way that it is this magical, mystical place. And the way it's described, it feels like you're right there. So she gets to travel to Nevermore, which is really cool. We have Mr. Penumbras 24-Hour Bookstore by Robin Sloan. So this is more of a quest sort of a travel. So this follows Clay as he is living in San Francisco. He's kind of looking for ways to supplement some income because his web designer gig isn't really cutting it. So he starts working as during the night shift at Mr. Penumbra's 24-hour bookstore. Then he quickly learns that this store is not really all that it seems. So very few customers come in, but they're regulars that come and they repeatedly borrow very strange books from this store. Not necessarily buy, they just borrow them. And so he's trying to figure out what this mystery is and figuring out who Mr. Penumbra is, and yeah. There's secrets, there's a little travel, it's a little bit of a quest. This is a really great book too. Okay. Next one I want to talk about is Caravelle by Stephanie Garber. Now you're probably thinking, how the heck does Caravelle have anything to do with travel? But again, it's more on this like quest piece of traveling in the summer that I kind of pulled this out of. I don't know, I'm like taking liberty with this prompt full on. But this follows Scarlett and her sister Tella. And they've always wanted to go to Caravelle, which is this very magical carnival that travels throughout the world, and you can't go unless you're invited and you have a ticket, and they are able to get a couple tickets and they go. And again, this is a very magical carnival where you're either a spectator or you're part of the production, I guess, and you don't know what's real, what's not. It's mystical and mysterious, and you are on a quest while you're in this carnival, and it's unique, and I don't know how else to explain it, but it's fantastic. So this would be another great one if you are looking for something to get away in, to be part of a quest, something like that. And the last book I want to talk about, so I've definitely put in more than 5 books this round because again, I've had different inspiration when we were thinking about travel and moving and stuff like that. So the last one I have is The Dream Daughter by Diane Chamberlain. This one includes time travel. It's another play on travel, right? So this one follows our main character, Carly. Let me think, did I actually get a name right? This might be surprising. Yes, Carly. I'm amazed. As she is doing anything that she can do to ensure that her daughter is born safe and healthy, and that involves some time travel. And it's definitely different for Diane Chamberlain, but she rocked it out of the park. I loved this book. So another one that I highly suggest. So if you're looking for traditional travel adventure type book, Amy Rogers' Epic Detour. Time travel, go with The Dream Daughter. Refugee, immigrant type thing, Salt of the Sea and Refugee. And if you're looking for something more fantastical, Caravelle, Nevermore, or Mr. Penumbra's 24-hour bookstore. I was shocked at what got fit into this little book, I will tell you that. So those are my suggestions. I'm sure Sarah has a completely different idea when it comes to this prompt, but that's just what I came up with. I had some creativity with it today. Let me know in the comments below if you've read any good books that involve travel. I would love to hear about them. And otherwise, like, subscribe, and all that fun stuff. And I will see you next time. Bye.